Hey, what's going on? My name is Pete Amato, and I want to welcome you to the very first episode of For Pete's Sake Sports Bets. But first, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So, unlike many other sports videos you'll see online, I don't consider myself a professional sports bettor, and I won't be lecturing you on how to make it rich. I'm just your average sports fan and casual bettor looking to have some fun and maybe make some cash in the process. I'll document my journey from start to finish, from deciding what bets to make each week and live game reactions to quick recaps of the good, the bad, and more often than not, the ugly. From the joy of victory to the agony of defeat, the camera will be rolling for your enjoyment. In my videos, you'll see that you don't need to be an expert gambler or have a huge bankroll to experience the excitement of sports and be successful at it. So hopefully I can entertain you, create some laughs at my expense, of course, and help those of you who may be a bit overwhelmed become more comfortable placing bets online. So now that all that's out of the way, let's go check out what we got for this week. All right, let's make some bets. First bets of the series, and in celebration of the NFL Week 1, we're going to stick to strictly NFL bets this week. I know a lot of people don't like to really bet that much the first week of the NFL. There's no team chemistry, injuries, really don't know what a team looks like, and especially now with the COVID stuff going on, it's been a weird year, and I can see why people wouldn't want to bet this week, but I'm going to bet anyway. I'm going to go with FanDuel Sportsbook because we're going to use this week, and no particular huge reason. They have a promotion of one of the games I was going to bet on, and let's get started. Let's start with that one, I guess. So the promotion I was talking about is the Spread the Love promotion, LA Rams versus the Dallas Cowboys. This promotion, basically, according to how many people bet, the point spread moves up in favor for LA Rams. So right now the spread is actually 14 points at a minus 110 odds, which is pretty insane, and it's probably the closest to a sure thing you're going to get. And it's a 50 maximum bet here, but it's worth the 50 bet maximum bet at minus 110 odds. That's $45 profit if you get the win, and I don't see the Rams losing by more than 10 points really. So hopefully they went outright. As an Eagles fan, you always love to see Dallas lose, but so we'll see. So I'm going to go with $50 on that for that bet right there. Next, we have New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills. The Jets are supposed to be improved this year. New coaching staff. They got Sam Darnold as his quarterback. Supposed to be all fired up, but we're talking about the New York Jets, right? I mean, I'm sorry for the Jets fans watching, but you can't trust a team like that yet. You got to show a little bit of consistency. And the Buffalo Bills are a good team, a really good team with some solid players. So I see Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo, and I think they cover the 6.5 points. So Buffalo 6.5 odds are minus 120. I'm going to throw $40 on that bet right there. The next bet, a bit of a homer bet. A lot of people don't like to bet on their own team, but I do, especially if it's a solid bet. I like to look at this bet. Eagles usually have a pretty easy time handling Washington, and I think they're going to have an easy time again this season. I know there's no Miles Sanders, but I still think they win by more than a touchdown. So I'm going to take the Eagles, giving 5.5. I'm going to give a $25 bet for that one. Last but not least, I'm going to bet on the Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers game. The Niners are a great team, but the Cardinals are also a really good team. I see the Niners winning this game, but I don't see them covering that spread. So I'm going to take the Cardinals plus 6.5 points. All in all, that's $140 I'm betting this week, and for a possible profit of $126. So there you have it. There's my first bets of the week. NFL Week 1. Let's go. So the two games we got on now, the 1 o'clock games, we have the Eagles Redskins and we have the Jets Bills. The other two games we bet on the Niners Cardinals. That's a 4 o'clock game. And the Cowboys Rams is a game, Sunday night game. So that'd be tonight. So right now we got the Eagles. We got the Eagles, Redskins, Jets, Buffalo. We got Buffalo. We got Buffalo giving 6.5. We got the Eagles giving 5.5. All right, so week 1 of the NFL is officially over, and looking back all in all, I did pretty good. I went 3 for 4. The only bet I ended up losing was the homer pick I took. I took the Eagles. It looked good for a while there. Most of the first half, they pretty much did what they want, and then obviously you saw in the second half they fell apart. It was an absolute disaster. It was offense didn't score points. Second half, the defense couldn't stop them. The offensive line looked like absolute Swiss cheese. It was bad. It was bad as somebody betting on them, and it was bad as an Eagles fan. So we'll get past that game. The next game was I also bet on the Jets-Bills game, and I took the Bills and giving 6.5. Kind of went the way I thought it was going to. I thought they were a lot better than that 6.5 points, and I figured they would cover, and they did. They covered pretty easily. They had the game well in hand throughout the whole game, and I wasn't really worried throughout that game. I was switching back and forth to the Eagles game, so I feel like that went well. Next game, that was a $40 bet, was the Jets-Bills. $25 bet was the Eagles game, so it's not too bad of a loss. The next game was another $25 bet, was the Cardinals and the Niners. I figured the Niners might win this game, but I didn't think they would cover. The Cardinals ended up winning the game and getting 6.5 points, so that went well for me. I feel like the Niners are still a little better than what they showed. It was just the first week of the NFL, little ring rust, stuff like that. So, but again, I felt pretty confident in that throughout the whole game. The LA Rams versus Cowboys game, I was also pretty confident in that, and it was a close game throughout the whole thing. But that was the spread the love promotion, in which I got plus 14 on the Rams. So, I mean, that's a once in a while promotion. That doesn't happen all the time. In a close game like that, usually I'm going to sweat it out. But with 14 points, I was pretty confident that whole time. I'm actually surprised the Cowboys lost. I thought they might have been better than the Rams. I'm happy they lost, but I'm surprised they lost. Unfortunately, I think Cowboys are better than they showed. They do have a lot of firepower on offense, and they really didn't showcase it too much. As an Eagles fan, that's not good for me, but I do think they have a really good offense. Let's just hope they don't put it all together, and let's just hope that they drop the ball like they do every year. Tallying it all up, I bet $140 and with a chance to win $126 in profit. Lost the Eagles game, so I actually ended up walking away with $100 in profit, which isn't too bad. It's the first week of the NFL, I could have done a lot worse. I'm glad I only stuck to 4 games because you never know. Going into the first week, you never know how teams are going to react to what's going on with the COVID and react to not having preseason and stuff like that. So looking towards next week, one thing I learned is the Eagles are a lot bigger of a mess than I thought they were. So I'm not going to touch the Eagles probably for a few weeks. Maybe if a player prop bet or something having to do with Zach Ertz or Miles Sanders if he comes back, I may touch that, but probably right now I'm going to stay away from the Eagles. It's a couple games I do like for next week, and I'll tell you why. I like the Niners-Jets game next week. The Niners are giving 7.5. They're giving 7 to the Jets, and again, I feel like they're giving the Jets too much credit. I think the Niners are going to handle them pretty easily. The Jets are home field, but the home field advantage really doesn't mean anything right now. There's only a couple teams that are actually allowing fans in the stands, and it's not even enough fans to really make a difference. So the Jets are home, yes, but I don't think it's a big deal. Maybe the travel-wise, but I just don't think it's that big of a deal. So I do like the Niners. I like the Niners giving 7 there. Not sure if I'm going to go with these picks, but this is just what I'm thinking for next week. I'll probably make my picks a little later in the week, so you'll see that. Another game I'm kind of looking forward to is another game with the Cardinals. They're playing Washington. Washington is getting 6.5. I don't think Washington is as good as what they showed this week. So the Cardinals just beat the Niners, who lost in the Super Bowl, and they could have easily won. So I think at 6.5, I think they'll cover that. 6.5 points pretty easily. So I'm looking at the Chiefs again this week. They're playing the Chargers. The Chargers scored 16 points on one of the worst teams in the league. They played the Bengals last week, and they didn't look good. They won that game, but they won 16-13. And the Chiefs, we all know what the Chiefs are. So the Chiefs are giving up 8.5 points here, and I think they beat the Chargers by more than 10. I'm thinking maybe 27-17 for that game. So I do like that game. Looking forward for next week. There's another game I was sort of looking at. I'm not really sold on this game yet. It's the Jags against the Titans. The Jags looked really good last week. They looked better than anybody thought they would. And they're getting 8.5 against the Titans. The Titans are still a good team, but it's still early in the season, so you don't know if the Jags are what they are yet. So those are the games I'm going to keep a close eye on as we progress towards next week. Things may change as far as injuries and whatnot, so I'm not going to place those bets quite yet. I'm just going to keep an eye on them and see what happens as we get closer to week 2.